The Pope was en route to the Vatican after a trip to Mexico when he commented on a topic that previously would have been unheard of: American presidential politics.
Poi, quello che mi diceva cosa consiglierebbe votare o non votare, non mi mischio, soltanto dico quest'uomo non è cristiano.
The Pope appeared to be laying down a blunt critique of Donald Trump and his plans to seal off the Mexican border. The GOP's leading candidate did not take the papal criticism well.
For a religious leader to question a person's faith is disgraceful.
Other Republicans have had to disagree with this new Pope too, as he has increasingly spoken out on political issues that have been at the center of the election. In this latest spat, Catholic presidential candidates Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio seem to defend Trump.
That's not an unchristian thing to do, to make sure that people don't come across our border illegally.
Vatican City controls who comes in, when they come in, and how they come in as a nation state or as a city state. And as a result, the United States has the right to do that as well.
American Catholic voters are bipartisan, and popes are admired by both Democrats and Republicans. But the issues Pope Francis has been most vocal about in America have caused headaches for the more devout wing of the GOP. He also lent his support to restoring diplomatic ties between Cuba and the U.S., much to the disapproval of Catholic Senator Marco Rubio, whose parents fled Cuba for the U.S.
I'm not going to attack the Pope over it, but I'm disappointed.
When the Pope spoke to Congress last year about immigration, it moved Rubio to tears.
So many of you are also descendants from immigrants.
But in the same breath, Pope Francis preached the acceptance of refugees, something Republicans had been fighting. He also voiced support for President Obama's initiatives on climate change.
Climate change is a problem we can no longer be left to a future generation.
There have been times the Pope has touched on inconvenient topics for Democrats, too. When Pope Francis visited America in September, he met privately with Kim Davis, who became a symbol of resistance to the Supreme Court's decision to allow gay marriage. He also met with nuns who opposed elements of Obamacare that deal with birth control. Still, it's mostly been Republicans who have had to walk the line when it comes to remaining true to their faith, but also to their politics.
I don't get economic policy from my bishops or my cardinals or from my pope. I think religion ought to be about making us better as people, and less about things that end up getting into the political realm.
As a Catholic, I believe that when he pronounces himself from the chair of Peter, which actually is very rare, he's infallible in those decisions. That does not extend to political issues like the economy.
For the GOP, religion is good for values, but not always so good for politics.